The Summer Music Festival has become something of a British tradition in the past half-century, with global superstars, music legends and homegrown artists lining up to perform. Whether it's Glastonbury, Reading and Leeds or the Isle of Wight, the quintessential music festival has developed a global reputation for the best in music and art. I'm Emma B, and for over 3 decades I've been attending and presiding over the rise of the music festival and have loved every minute. Yet I'm not the only one to love the magic and power of this phenomenon. So, don those wellies, retrieve your glow sticks and avoid the mud as we delve into the world of festivals exclusively on Beyond the Title.
Last weekend, Beyond the Title was once again granted exclusive access behind the scenes at the annual Isle of Wight Festival for the ultimate celebration of the very best in music. The broad spectrum of talent epitomises what the festival is all about, and the following campaigners perfectly represent all sides of the music industry and are all evidence that the British music scene is in a very good place. So, let's look back on a great weekend which was the Isle of Wight Festival. First up, we spoke to the man behind the festival, John Giddings.
The Isle of Wight Festival was the Woodstock of Europe with 600,000 people, and he came to the Bath Festival in Shepton Mallet, walked over the hill, saw that and thought, I'll have a go at that, in the same way that I thought 32 years after the original that I would give it a go when I was offered the opportunity. But it's a cultural experience. You know, when in 1970 it was a left field thing to do, it was a hippie thing to do. Now it's part of the mainstream, it's cultural, it's social. Talk to anybody because you're sharing the same experience. It's not like going to a football match where you might get whacked by, you know, someone who supports the other team. You're all in a tribe, but you're in the same tribe.
Right, so we're here with the Queen Bees, fresh off the river stage. Is it the river stage?
Yeah.
Fresh off the river stage. You must be buzzing.
We are buzzing. Best time ever.
So, have you played any other festivals before?
Yeah, all over Ireland.
Yeah.
This is our first UK festival, so we are so excited about it. Yeah. We're from Dublin, Ireland.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And what about this Isle of Wight festival was unique to what you've done before, would you say?
The sheer scale of it,
Size.
you know, the scale, and it's just so well organised and everything. Like, we've been looked after so well, so we've had an amazing time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fun getting here. Trains,
planes,
and
automobiles.
So we made it.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
100%. Absolutely.
You know, and like Lisa says, with the way we've been looked after, everything's just been so perfect
from
start to finish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We didn't have to worry really about anything.
No,
Yeah.
it was brilliant.
So well organised.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Had you heard of the Isle of Wight Festival before?
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Knows
This is
about
the
the
big
Isle of
one.
Wight
This is the
Festival.
big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I would have been coming even if I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And now that you've played this, what are your highlights of the rest of the summer going to be? Have you got anything else to look forward to?
Yeah,
this
we're
summer?
booked now in a lot of festivals in Ireland, and we are putting on our own show in Dublin at the end of the year that we're really looking forward to.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're busy bees.
Busy bees. Yeah.
We're also supporting the artist Mundy.
Oh, okay.
We've worked with Mundy a few times, and we supported him last Christmas in his Christmas show.
Yeah.
And we're going to be supporting him again
In August.
He's a big Irish artist.
Yeah.
He's big in Ireland. Yeah.
Did you want What do you find different between Irish and English audiences when you play for? Obviously, you played a lot of festivals in Ireland. Are the audiences different?
I think the enjoyment for music is universal, and I think people actually react anywhere you are in the world to good music. Now, obviously, like, the Irish people are renowned for being so friendly and warm, you know, and over here we're finding that too. We're loving it. We have had such an amazing reception. We've been looked after so well, and everyone was amazing in the audience today on the river stage for
I have
us.
to say, they were so excited. It was brilliant.
And even And even since we've come down and walking through the festival, the amount of people coming up to us and congratulating us, and it's just it's really supportive because the River Stage is the stage for up and coming artists and everything. So they're so encouraging and supportive. So we're really, really delighted.
Very heartwarming. It really was.
They were all so lovely.
So
Brilliant.
And willing to just come up and say, "Oh my God, your outfit."
Yeah.
It was
Very
brilliant.
nice,
Just brilliant.
Did you have any like musical heroes growing up at all?
Oh God, many.
Yeah.
several.
One from each?
All of them. Bowie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bowie.
Yeah. Prince.
Yeah.
Madonna.
Prince.
Okay.
Yoo-hoo!
Are you staying for the rest of the weekend now then to watch the rest of the act?
Yes.
Well, yeah, we are. Yeah. We'll be heading off tomorrow,
Tomorrow night.
but
We're heading
tomorrow night.
We're not staying
So
tomorrow night.
we, of course, we are going to. Well, the Script are on tonight, aren't they? And they're one of our
And
own.
are they're
so-
Irish, so we need
I was
going
gonna
to
say
know.
who you're most
Yeah,
excited to
yeah.
see.
I know.
Script.
Well, we missed the chorus last night because we arrived late.
Yeah.
But obviously the script.
We want
then
to
and
see
the
the
chorus.
script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would, or we were listening there to the Beautiful South, which I love. They
Yeah,
were amazing,
yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
And there's some great bands actually
It's brilliant.
on our stage as well.
On the River Stage, the
Yeah.
Molotovs,
Oh,
we
yeah,
love. We met
they're
them
amazing.
today.
I can't remember the guy before.
The deck chairs.
Yeah.
Amazing
great
bands.
bands on.
Yeah,
I
brilliant.
think that's the main thing that I see from
Yeah.
this festival is the smaller stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
have
Absolutely.
a lot of support.
Yeah, it's
I've been to other
great.
festivals where it's obviously the main headline.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people here, it obviously it depends on your music
Yeah.
taste
Yeah.
and stuff, but everyone's at every different
That's
stage.
it's really great.
And
Yeah.
they all
Really
encourage
great.
each other.
Yeah.
That's what we
Yeah.
found.
Yeah.
Everybody was rooting for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Great.
really
So
were
lovely.
encouraging.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
incredibly important.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been going now, the new one for 25 years or thereabouts, and in that time it's sort of spurred on other smaller festivals as well. It's created a huge music scene on the island. I think it's really given young people a chance to believe that they can go into the industry, but not only that, it gives us all a weekend a year of having a huge amount of fun and thousands of people coming to the Isle of Wight.
So we're with May Muller, who's just finished her set at the Isle of Wight Festival for 2025. What do you think makes the Isle of Wight Festival unique?
I think what makes the Isle of Wight Festival unique, because I've played here once before, I think it feels like anyone and everyone can enjoy it, and I feel like with some festivals it's either like targeted towards like a younger crowd or maybe slightly older or it's like more family, but I feel like everyone can come and enjoy this. Like, it feels very family, but also feels like you can like go and have your night out, which is really nice. You can kind of make it whatever you want it to be, which is I really enjoy it. And I love the mix of genres. Like, it's quite pop, but it's quite rock. Like, everyone on the main stage, apart from me, no, that's not true, but there's a lot of like rock acts and indie acts on the stage that I was playing, which is fun for me as well, because I don't usually get that, but it was fun.
And what are some of your highlights of the summer going to be? Looking forward to it.
I have new music coming out. I've got an EP coming out. I can't say too many details yet, which is annoying, but it's soon. And it's my first sort of project as an independent artist, because I'm newly independent, which is exciting. So that'll be a highlight. And I think today was a highlight too.
Nice. And did you have any heroes while you were growing up in the music industry at all, or not in the music industry?
I loved Lily Allen. Lily Allen was one of my favourite artists growing up, and she was probably the reason why I started writing music. I was basically just, All Right Still, her album was that. I listened to that and I was just like, what is this? I want to do that. So she was definitely a hero, and I loved Florence the Machine as well, Gwen Stefani.
Was there
Rihanna.
any outside of the music industry that you looked up to?
It sounds really boring, but like I was very obsessed with music. Like I didn't watch. I feel like I missed a big chunk of like my childhood, because I never used to watch like kids TV or like Disney or Nickelodeon. I wish I had now, but because I just used to watch MTV the whole time, so that was kind of like what I would idolize, I was a big MTV girly growing up.
Any particular favourites on MTV?
I remember seeing the Toxic video by Britney Spears for the first time on TV, because that's where you would watch it. Was before like YouTube or anything. So if you wanted to catch it, I remember just turning on the TV and just waiting for the video that I wanted to see. And I remember when I watched Toxic Britney Spears, I was like, who's this woman? I want to be her.
And you mentioned that you're missing Justin Timberlake, unfortunately, but the rest of the day today, who are you most looking forward to seeing?
I'm seeing Busted, which I'm excited about, because obviously growing up they were just iconic, and Razorlight as well. I used to do trapeze when I was a kid, and I had a show at school, and you had to pick a song of like what you did your trapeze show to. And my song was America by Razorlight. Okay. So it always reminds me of my trapeze days, which is quite random. They're very, very far behind me now, but yeah.
And just finally, obviously, oh yeah. Can you still do trapeze? Yeah.
I haven't tried. I'm kind of scared to try because I'm like, I don't even know if I could lift myself on there now. But I know I think I could get on and maybe do a couple of moves. But I need to try. I don't know yet. I'm gonna back myself and say I could get on the thing.
Is that another summer plan then?
Maybe you'll see me in the circus next year.
Why don't you do it later?
If there's a trapeze round here, I'll give it a go. Maybe we can have a word and see if we can get them to get a swing out.
And you obviously took part in Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
How does that sort of event differ to performing on stages in festivals? Like, is there a different sort of crowd? And
I mean, yeah,
how did you find that?
I think it is a different crowd. I mean, everyone's there to kind of have fun, but I think it's different because Eurovision at the end of the day, like, it is a competition, and you do feel an element of like you're being judged, and it's a very pressurized situation, and I was really scared to like make any mistakes. But I think on a festival like this, I feel really free and open, and it's like, I might forget a word or two, and it doesn't bother me because it's just like I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
So I think when it's a festival or your own show, it just feels a little less, for me anyway, it feels a little bit less pressurized, and you don't feel like the crowd is there like to judge you. You're they're there just to have fun like you, and I'm a big believer in if I'm having fun on stage, like everyone else is having fun too. So
amazing. Did you have anything else? Why do you think the UK haven't done so well at Eurovision in recent years?
I don't know. I mean, I think in a way, like Remember Monday are amazing. Ollie Alexander, like everyone, I think they have done well, but I don't know. That's the thing with Eurovision, it is a little bit mental, and we don't really have the answers, and I just think sometimes it's a luck thing, sometimes it's just on the night, you just never know. But I don't know, but I think everyone that's done it has a reason to be proud of themselves, and they get up there and it's bloody hard and it's scary, but I think I don't know why they need to. Next year we'll see, maybe they'll crack the code at some point. I don't know. No, I did it once. Josh.
Got the t-shirt.
That was enough.
Yeah.
That was enough. I did have fun doing it, but no, I couldn't do that again. I'd go and have fun as a viewer, but no, can't do it again.
Thank you, Ian Brodie, for meeting us beyond the title.
Nice to meet you both.
Josh Barry, thanks ever so much for your time. Just got a few questions for you, if that's all right.
Hope they're not hard. Yeah.
No, hopefully not too hard. Yeah, Josh is a sort of a mean taskmaster normally.
Not too tough to question.
Yeah.
I know my name.
Yeah, you passed the first test. Now, the 90s was a time of great optimism for Britain. When hearing the Lightning Seeds repertoire, what do you think it teaches us about attitudes towards life in the 90s?
It seems like, it's funny, the 90s for me, it seems like it was 5 years ago, but it was 30 years ago. And it felt an easier and more positive time for me. I think just generally the world seems to have, in the last 10 years, gone a bit mad, and just become very hectic and a bit scary. So it's just before that. So for me, obviously it's the time of my most success. And it feels to me like an idyllic time, and it was easy, easier.
Yeah. The life of Riley, indeed.
Yeah.
Football songs have always been a bit of a novelty concept in this country. What was it about Britain's love affair with the sport that made you want to capture it in a song?
The fact that they were so bad and I wanted to do a good one, you know, partly I would say, you know, and I wanted to do one that was, I thought, you know, they were always about like a cheerleading song for the team, and we really wanted, not just me, obviously the three of us, we wanted to write one that was about the fans and about how it felt to be a fan, and, you know, I felt like that had never been done, other than I'm a Liverpool fan, and You'll Never Walk Alone is that really. It's about community and it's not about the team. And I was very struck from a young age with that song, you know, and just how emotional it can be. Yeah. So I wanted to do, you know, something that was like that rather than just, hey, we're going to win, you know?
Yeah. Because again, that's the point about it forms the identity of Liverpool, doesn't it? You'll Never Walk Alone.
I think it just for me as a kid, you know, I'd never seen my dad sing or my uncle or anything, and we'd go to a football match and they'd sing this song, and then I'd hear it, and then I looked at it, and it was in, you know, the opera, and it just thought, God, it's amazing how that song can have so many lives and just capture how you feel, you know.
Yeah. It's
You won't
You won't like me? What's that?
You know.
Oh yeah, he's a United fan.
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind.
End of interview.
Goodbye.
Euro 96 became a landmark event, not just in football, but also in terms of pop culture. Why do you think Three Lions has since become the soundtrack for defining events of the mid-90s?
I think it's probably because so many of the words from the song went into the sort of language of our culture. You know, you always read about, even not just about football, things coming home and, you know, years of hurt, and just every little phrase in it has sort of ended up as part of, you know, people use it all the time about all sorts of things. It's coming home, you know, you know, and I think that's given it a longevity, maybe, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. In your opinion, how important is it for performers to produce self-celebratory anthems?
I don't know what you mean.
Three Lines is an uplifting song. For a festival like this.
So important to get a song that gets everyone going and stuff. Yeah. Well, you know, I suppose that's what you want. I mean, you kind of want to have. You want it a lot when you're doing gigs, because you feel like, the more songs that you can have in that everyone can relate to and get behind makes the show better and gives you a sort of community and communication, you know. So you're always trying to do that, but it's a funny thing, really. But I suppose doing a football song gives you a real excuse to do that. But I think there's other songs, like I wrote the song Life of Riley about my son Riley being born, and then that got taken on by football coverage, and it's become an anthem as well. But that was never the intention with that song. So I would say you never know which one. You can't predict which ones are going to be.
Yeah, they take on their own path, sort of thing. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Looking back at your career, what's your proudest achievement?
Probably just to be still. I don't know how relevant we are, but we're still playing. We have a great feeling with the audience. Yeah. I'm doing a lot of shows. I still feel like I've got something to give. It's difficult sometimes as a band, because as you go on in your career, you can almost become not like a cabaret band, but you know, there's a certain thing that defines you, still having an intensity and still trying to move forward and capture and do something. And I feel proud that I think we're better live than we ever have been before, really. You know, it's taken me an awfully long time to get okay at it, you know. and maybe that's played into it. So that's what I'm proud of, really, that we can be here at the Isle of Wight. You know, I did my first kind of studio recording, or I was working with Deco and the Bunnymen in 1979, and here I am in 2025. So I think that's the best thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's going to rain, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's threatening to. Yeah. Do you think football
is ever going to come
home? Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But we live in hope,
yeah,
you know.
It's in touching distance always, isn't it?
But we're always going to think it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So just
oh,
one
sorry,
last,
I thought that
one
was
last,
it. I
one
was
last
looking
question.
at your list. I thought it was it.
Yeah, sorry. What's next for Ian Brodie, finally?
Well, I'm going to do a couple of a bit more recording, I think, this year. I take too long between songs, it takes me a long time to get stuff together, and that's what I'd like to do, really. What I enjoy is playing live, and what's next for me is trying to play live as long as I'm able to, and just keep enjoying myself.
I think it's had a huge impact in just making people believe that they can be on the stage. Kids have grown up going to this festival year after year and seeing all the acts. There's Platform 1 stage here is absolutely full all weekend of young people getting their chance to be on a stage and to perform. Lots of those young people going off and doing amazing things in the industry. Even in the media, it gives the local press the chance to work on a large scale production like this. Everyone who's involved is an amazing experience, but yeah, it certainly had an impact culturally on the island.
So the Isle of Wight Festival in its current incarnation has now been running for over 20 years. In your opinion, how has it become a barometer for charting and documenting the changes in music?
Yeah, I think it's really grown over the years, and it's changed in style over the years, and I think you can really measure that in terms of music, types of music. It's broadened, with having lots of extra stages come along, which so not just the main stage but all those smaller stages, so lots of opportunities for different music. But if you look back over the years, you can kind of see the changes as you go along. So yeah, it has culturally, looking back, in time, I think people will use the Isle of Wight Festival to really chart those changes in music and in culture and changes on the Isle of Wight.
You've only got to look at the lineup and just watch it as a timeline every single year just to see that evolution, really. And the festival landscape in the UK is vast, but what do you think makes this festival unique?
Oh, so this one, it's got the heritage of being the original Isle of Wight music festival, in this country, really, and with Dylan and the likes coming over, and the stars really want to play the Isle of Wight Festival, so it's got that makes it unique. But obviously it's separated by water, so it makes people who come on holiday here really feel like they're going on holiday, and even the stars, they just really like coming over here because it's somewhere different. In the name Isle of Wight, it's synonymous with music festivals.
Being a promoter, you must have charted the careers of many artists. Has there been anyone who didn't live up to their potential? Anyone who has bucked the trend of having immense talent but no star power?
It's not lacking star power, it's they don't want to be that famous. Right. Someone like Morrissey would always shoot himself in the foot when he'd get to a certain position and he'd do something daft, which, rock stars know what they're doing and they know they want to be successful. They work the room, and people like Van Morrison, they say this is the level I want to be at, and it's up to them. It's not up to us. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I always say to an artist, your job is to get up there and perform and not have to worry about anything behind you. That's my job. I have to take care of it.
I know you're a very busy man this weekend, so I've just got two very small questions left for you, and then we appreciate your time. Who has been your most surprising booking? Who have you really surprised? You got them.
All of them, really. Fleetwood Mac, probably.
Okay, excellent.
Because everybody was trying to get Fleetwood Mac to play a festival for years, and I I think it was the name, the Isle of Wight Festival, that won them over. And I remember meeting with them and said, don't do the acoustic session in the show, because if it pours with rain, just play hits all the way through and it'll be a magic moment. And Michael Eavis said to me, how did you manage to get Fleetwood Mac? I said, I paid them.
Yeah, well done. So, speaking of festival lineups, creating one must feel like an impossible task. What do you always look for in a festival lineup?
It's a jigsaw puzzle. I look for artists that are capable of performing to an audience of 50,000 people and entertaining them. I said the other day, just because someone's got 1 million views on TikTok doesn't mean they can get on and hold an audience for a period of time. I think you've got to have some good songs under your belt and be a good entertainer. I mean, Robbie Williams is an artist that I wouldn't necessarily listen to in my car, but he was brilliant when he played it.
Showman.
He had all of the audience in his hand. Yeah. A real showman, and I respected that.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And a final question, looking back at your career, what is your proudest achievement?
The Isle of Wight Festival.
Okay. And what can we go on?
Because all the rest of the time I'm working for a client, an artist. The Isle of Wight was something I created, and I invite artists to come and play on. Amazing. So I think when I get run over by a bus and they write about me in some dodgy magazine and a biography, it'll say he recreated the Isle of Wight Festival.
Superb. So what's next for John Giddings?
I'm getting older now. I want some time off.
Okay.
I'd like the day off. That's what's next. That's what I'm looking
I think you've got a lot of work to do this weekend, but thank you very much.
Thanks so much to all our wonderful festival stalwarts for giving us their incredible insights into the magic of this British phenomenon. If you've enjoyed this, why not browse the Beyond the Title back catalogue to see what else takes your fancy. There's a series on Britpop, radio or women in entertainment, which might be to your taste. And please follow us on social media to keep track of upcoming episodes and events. Thanks again for listening and hope to see you next time.